Hey, what's up, everyone? It's nice to be back trading. It was a slow day, but still some really nice calls in the chat room, some really good ideas, some nice pullback alerts, right? Heading into buy zones, strong stocks pulling back to buy zones. Great teamwork as always. It's slow. We're sandwiched in between two holidays. We just had one, and then the market is closed this coming Monday as well, and it's summertime, so things are kind of dead. And as often happens when you get a big day like you had on Friday, and this could be a big day up or a big day down for the overall market, oftentimes after a really big day, you get kind of a narrow range, lower volume day, and that's exactly what happened today. A couple shout outs. Nicholas NRSN ended up closing ugly, but he gave the idea over the 5 minute high on NRSN. It was on the morning gap playlist, basically a 270 break. And within 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, it went up 330. That's a very nice percentage move. Great heads up by Nicholas. And as you know, we're day traders, so we rent them. So even though it closed ugly, we're not investors. We just trade between the bells. And a really nice call by Nicholas. Kevin M, give a shout out to him as well. He called AXSM over 35.30. I'll show you the setup. So probably looked about like this. You had it topped out 35.29 right here. Believe there was a seller on the tape right at 35.30-ish. And then you had the earlier high just above as another potential catalyst. And when it breaks 35.30, goes all the way up to almost 39. Pretty neat call there by Kevin M. There's a couple highlights. And again, we had some nice pullback calls in the room as well. And I want to give a shout out to Nick C, who in after hours mentioned KZR had topped at 8 and it was strong in after hours. And after it broke back through 8, which is what Nick was basically, his idea was back through 8. I don't have extended hours on here, I don't think. I'll put it on here real quick. Check this out. I'm going to go to 1 minute candles and show you. I mean, what a great heads up in after hours. There it is. So you had this big run, and Nick typed out something like KZR, really strong after hours, topped out at 8. And, you could have had it after seeing the pullback back through 8 was the idea Nick was implying. And man, it went over 1350 at one point. Which, by the way, KZR is going to be on watch tomorrow as a potential gapper. But that's a neat after-hours heads up and maybe a reason to stick around for a little while. He typed that out about 10 minutes into the after-hour session. So anyway, I want to give a shout-out there, too. What are we watching for tomorrow? Just start with FEMY, which anything to do with contraception, because of the Supreme Court ruling, is getting a bid, seems like. And FEMY was one of them. And then it looks like it topped out pretty close to the whole number 3. Topped out at 297-ish. It's actually 265 in after hours. So it is getting a little oomph in after hours, as is EVFM, which is also on the list. So we want to kind of watch that whole space. But FEMY is one of them. I'll show you EVFM in a bit too. VEDU, nice little kind of mini breakout if you can ignore when it came public. And the first week or so just fell off a cliff, but sideways since then, and now starting to curl up. We had it on watch coming in today. Oh, let me get after hours off of there now. And I believe somebody in the chat gave a heads up, but I can't remember who, when it looked about like this, basically calling it over the earlier high, 222. Did have a nice little intraday cup and handle with a recent high not far above, and you did get the pop. So there's another example of a nice heads up in chat. Anyway, we're going to keep our eyes on that one tomorrow. MSPR had nice volume today, topped out right around the whole number 3. It actually broke through 3, went to 302. Interesting through 3 tomorrow if that sets up, or if it gives one of our intraday setups with the whole number 3 above. Certainly worth keeping an eye on, right? CLVS had this nice 2-day run back here, and now it's been chopping sideways ever since. So I want to keep that one on a chart. AMC super strong today. Couple nice calls in this one. I think Kevin M actually caught this. I call a 15s buy zone below the whole number 14. You can see right between the red and green line, kind of the middle of the 15s buy zone. I was bidding 1382. Look what happens. Kevin M was bidding 1388. He literally caught the bottom of that pullback, and it went up pretty quickly to 1434. But back to the daily, nice little mini breakout. A lot of shorts in the name, so we're going to watch for a follow-through day tomorrow in AMC. DARE is another one of those contraception plays, I believe. Double check anything I say because I'm a day trader, and through social media and through the chat room and through other things, I see what's in play and I see why people are asserting something is in play. But I don't always go back and look at articles and make sure that that's true because I'm really trading, the momentum and the group and other traders, and I play the A+ setups if I get them in that group. So never take what I say, like as far as for example, DARE being a contraceptive play. But somebody did post a headline where they're partnering with Bayer, I think. I think it was Bayer. Anyway, and then they're in phase 3 or something, but double check it on a female hormone-free contraceptive if I remember what I saw in writing correctly. Anyway, it's interesting to me because it's in that space, and it hit $1.46 Friday, hit $1.46 today. Technically, Friday it hit $1.46.5. I don't know how that happens, but I'm basically calling it over that $1.46 area tomorrow if that happens. And if that space is running, it's a decent little setup. EVFM talked about this one. Nice breakout today. This one went to maybe $1.30 in after hours too. Some of you in chat were talking about watching it in after hours, which I didn't disagree because you had the strong close, the big breakout. I did see all over Twitter people saying they're a huge cash burn rate and they're low on cash. So if that wasn't the case, I might have said, hey, for you swing traders, this might be a good overnight hold. But whenever you see that, you put yourself at risk for an offering overnight, right? So anyway, we'll see. But I wouldn't have held this overnight for that. Too scary, but certainly worth watching tomorrow for another possible setup. SRRK had this big pop before I went on vacation, gave it all back that same day, but really is curling up ever since. Today topped out at 8.05 before closing at 7.34. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. BNTC, big pop Friday. Today inside day, but closing above its open, so you have a possible third day play there. AKRO just goes back on bounce watch, right down to the 20-day after this big run. It's declining volume, well, sort of lower volume than on the big rip. It's worth noting that this big volume stick here from about a week ago was still only 2.5 million shares, so it's not a heavily traded stock. I want to put that up back on bounce watch. And then I already mentioned KZR is going to go on gap watch. Right now it's trading at 11.85 in after hours. Really nice to be back. I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.